So they stayed down, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. Like, I'm just going to, like, take these somewhere else, you know what I mean? And, like, probably the U of U will show them, or, like, or somewhere else, you know what I mean? Like, there's a gallery somewhere that will show these. And I went home from that meeting, and I got to my email, and it was just, like, overrun, like, with people just sending emails just saying, like, we want to talk to you. And anyway, so what happened is, it got picked up by Dan Savage. Dan Savage? He's the slog, the stranger in Seattle. I don't know. So he like ran a story about it, and then my blog had gotten 50,000 hits in 2 days. It was out of control. So then BYU, because they were getting media pressure, I believe, like had to review it again, and then they said we could put it back up. Then it was up for like 5 more days before it came down again. So, but...
What were other students' reactions? Just as you were...
Some students, you know, would email me and say, like, why are you trying to go against what the church teaches? Like, why are you trying to push that envelope, you know? And I guess I still kind of have that conversation with some of my friends today that think, well, you knew that would happen, so why did, you know, were you just looking for a controversy? But that's not true, because it had already been pre-approved, you know? Like, it had already been, like, we told BYU, like, this is going to happen. And they were like, okay, that's fine, you know, as long as you photograph people who are living the honor code, so. And so some people were okay, and some people...
Well, it's kind of interesting because you photographed people who were living the honor code, mm-hmm. and they're members of the church in good standing. Like, you can't take... Like, it just makes me wonder what people who are against it are thinking, that they don't want to see that. Like, these are people who...
Because they're doing the same things you're doing.
People who are living the honor code.
Mm-hmm.
They're, according to your standards, not doing anything wrong.
Right.
But this problem, it's not even a problem, but this situation exists, mm-hmm. and you don't want to look at the faces of human beings that you live with and like, see the world. See
it makes
them.
you uncomfortable,
them.
right?
Yeah,
it made
like,
them uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I think.
it's so strange to me.
So.
But because of all of that, that's what makes it a great art project.
Yeah.
That's what art does.
Yeah, and it makes you think.
It makes you think, and
yeah.
it makes you look.
And so, yeah, that's kind of how. So that because of that, I don't know. Like looking back now, I'm like, man, that changed the course of my life kind of a lot. Like that one thing, you know. Because of that, like I had to early on, right? Like tell my family and it
How'd
was.
they take it?
They haven't got back to me on that yet.
Oh really? Do you talk to them a lot and just don't talk about that, or you don't talk to them much?
We don't talk to them. We don't talk very much anymore since that. My mom, you know, she took a few days to kind of think about it, and then called me and was like, "Oh, I'm just happy you didn't marry a woman and didn't like complicate things that way," you know.
Right.
She's been great. She's been really great. You know, kind of. She apologized to me for trying to put me into a box that I knew that I wouldn't fit into, you know, which I thought that was really great.
Did anyone ever call you in for interviews about
I was scared. Because I was like, I'm really close, you know, like this is my last semester, like I just have to do my internship and like my final project and then I'm done, you know. But I guess the thing that scared me the most is like I decided to do the interview with the Advocate because they wanted to, but that could have been seen by BYU as advocating homosexuality, and that's against the honor code. Right. So I was nervous about that, but in my heart, like I knew that I had to talk to them. Does that make sense? Like it was like I can't not do this interview because I feel like what was the project for if I like shrink and hide, you know what I mean? Like if I'm like, well, I'm not going to talk to you, sorry, like then why did I do it? Why did I
Right.
try to bring up the issue? And I don't know if BYU just never, I mean, I didn't like go tell them I'm doing an interview with the Advocate.
Right.
If I did, they would probably be like, what's that? You know what I mean?
Right.
They're like, is that another ensign? No, just kidding. No, I'm kidding. So, I mean, I didn't say anything, so I guess they just didn't know, but I was kind of afraid of that. But they kind of laid low. I mean, there wasn't any honor code. I was lucky. I think I was lucky. But I kind of went to BYU with the expectation that, man, there's going to be a lot of good people there who are living like good things. And I was at the point then that I was like really, really Mormon, really like, if I'm around these people, then I can be good and this will be taken away from me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say that's, I think, why I went to BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just thinking, about to go out into the world. You know, I want to find out the answers and be in this environment that I'm going to be able to find out for sure what's going on.
Right.
And live the way that I think I'm supposed to live.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if it's not going to happen there, it's not going to happen.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And it's not going to happen.